Reacher Season 4 cast. Who are the new characters? Warning, spoiler warning. This video contains spoilers for Reacher Season 4, including the new characters, their connections to Jack Reacher, and details from the opening episodes. Reacher is back for Season 4, and this time, Jack Reacher finds himself surrounded by a completely new group of characters. The season is based on Lee Child's Gone Tomorrow, but the television adaptation changes some details and introduces a number of new faces. So who are these characters? Who can Reacher trust? Who is hiding something? And which new faces could become important as the season continues? Let's break it down. 1. Who is Tamara Green? One of the most important new characters is Detective Tamara Green, played by Sydelle Noel. Tamara is a Philadelphia police detective who becomes connected to Reacher's investigation. Unlike Reacher, she has to operate inside the system, with a badge, a department behind her, and her own understanding of what is happening in Philadelphia. But that doesn't mean she automatically trusts Reacher. Their relationship is interesting, because Reacher is used to working alone, while Tamara is connected to official law enforcement. They have different methods, but as the mystery becomes more complicated, they may need each other. 2. Who is Jacob Merrick? Jacob Merik is played by Christopher Rodriguez-Marquette. He is a police officer connected to Anna Merik, the woman whose death becomes one of the major events that sets the story in motion. That connection immediately makes Jacob important to Reacher. Reacher doesn't simply accept the official explanation surrounding Anna's death. He starts asking questions, and Jacob becomes part of that investigation. Jacob isn't simply a typical Reacher villain or ally. He is caught inside a much larger situation involving his family, law enforcement, and the conspiracy Reacher is uncovering. 3. Who is Lila Hoth? Lila Hoth is one of the most talked about new characters. She is played by Indonesian singer and actress Agnez. Lila initially appears to be someone who needs help. She approaches Congressman Shaun Sampson, claiming that he is her biological father. She also has a serious medical problem and needs a bone marrow transplant. That makes her story look personal and emotional. But Reacher doesn't accept a story simply because it sounds convincing. The deeper he investigates, the more complicated Lila becomes. Her connection to Shaun Sampson, her mother, and the larger conspiracy makes her one of the season's biggest mysteries. 4. Who is Amisha Hoth? Amisha Hoth is Lila's mother, played by Anggun. She is closely connected to Lila's story and appears to know much more about the past than she initially reveals. That makes Amisha important not just as Lila's mother, but as someone who may understand the bigger picture. The Hoth family connection becomes one of the central mysteries surrounding Reacher's investigation. 5. Who is Russell Plum? Russell Plum is an investigative journalist played by Kevin Weisman. He becomes involved in Reacher's investigation and approaches the mystery from a different direction. Unlike Reacher, Plum's weapon is information. He investigates stories, follows leads, and tries to uncover facts that powerful people may want hidden. That makes him a natural fit for the conspiracy storyline. 6. Who is Shaun Sampson? Shaun Sampson is played by Marc Blucas. He is a U.S. congressman and one of the most politically powerful new characters. At first, Sampson appears far removed from the kind of street-level mysteries Reacher usually investigates. But Lila Hoth's claim that Sampson is her biological father changes everything. Suddenly, the politician becomes connected to a much more personal mystery. Because Sampson is a powerful public figure, anything involving him has much larger consequences. Reacher is digging into the life of someone with political influence, making the investigation more dangerous. 7. Who is Elsbeth Samson? Elsbeth Samson, played by Kathleen Robertson, is John's wife. She becomes important because the Hoth family mystery directly threatens the Samsons' personal and political lives. Her position gives her knowledge of John, his history, and the secrets surrounding their family. Reacher's investigation puts pressure on the entire Samson family, raising the question of whether Elsbeth knows more than she is saying. 8. Who is Detective Dockerty? Kevin Corrigan plays Detective Shaun Dockerty. He works alongside Tamara Green and represents another side of the Philadelphia police investigation. Dockerty is important because Tamara and Reacher don't operate in isolation. There are other detectives, procedures, and competing theories surrounding the case. Reacher doesn't like being told what he can and cannot investigate, and experienced detectives don't necessarily appreciate an outsider walking into their case and asking uncomfortable questions. 9. Who is Anna Merik? Anna Merik, played by Karen Kwong-Chip, is one of the most important characters even though her story begins with tragedy. Reacher encounters Anna on a Philadelphia subway. She is clearly distressed, and what happens next becomes the event that pulls Reacher into the larger conspiracy. Her death initially appears to be an isolated incident, but Reacher notices details that don't make sense. Because he has spent his life recognizing when something is wrong, he refuses to simply walk away. Anna's story becomes the starting point for the Season 4 mystery, while her connection to Jacob Merrick gives the investigation a personal dimension. 10. Why are these new characters important? The biggest change in Season 4 is that Reacher isn't simply dealing with one obvious villain. Instead, the story surrounds him with people who each have different connections to the mystery. Tamara represents law enforcement. Jacob is connected to Anna. Russell Plum represents investigative journalism. John Sampson brings political power into the story. Elsbeth connects the political world to the personal one. Lila and Amisha Hoth introduce a mysterious family connection, while Anna's death starts Reacher asking questions. That makes Season 4 feel more like a conspiracy mystery than a simple action story. Reacher still follows evidence, refuses convenient explanations, and confronts people who stand in his way. But this time, he has to figure out which new characters are allies, which are enemies, and which may be hiding the truth. Final thoughts. So, who are the new characters in Reacher Season 4? The season introduces Tamara Green, Jacob Merrick, Russell Plum, Lila Hoth, Amisha Hoth, John Sampson, Elsbeth Samson, Detective Docherty, and Anna Merik. What's interesting is that almost all of them connect to different parts of the same mystery. Lila and Amisha are connected through the Hoth family. John and Elsbeth bring politics into the story. Anna and Jacob connect the investigation to the Philadelphia police. Tamara and Docherty represent the official investigation, while Russell Plum provides another route to the truth. At the center of all of it is Jack Reacher. He doesn't know these people, and he doesn't have a reason to trust them. And that's exactly how Reacher likes to operate. Season 4 is based on Gone Tomorrow, but the series has made changes to the source material, including relocating the story and adapting several characters for television. That means even viewers familiar with the book may not know exactly where every new character's story is going. And that is what makes this season so interesting. The question isn't simply who will fight Reacher, it's who will tell him the truth. Because in Season 4, the most dangerous person may not be the person holding a weapon. It could be the person standing in front of Reacher, smiling and telling him a story that isn't true.